One brother is left completely exhausted in a cluttered room, while the other is calm, with a growing cash reserve. The first man faces a weight problem and a stack of dental bills, while the other has a $6,000 cushion in the bank. This happened despite a very specific detail. Over the last decade, both brothers were given the exact same amount of money. The disparity between $0 and $6,000 grew out of the way each man treated the same $50 bill. 10 years ago, both brothers started at the same baseline, receiving $50 a month to spend however they liked. Their choices represent a divide between the desire for immediate consumption and the discipline of waiting for a mathematical return. The path to that $6,000 total began with a single change in their monthly routine. In month 1, the first brother spends his entire $50 on fast food for himself and his friends, leaving him with nothing. The second brother spends $10 on himself, but puts the remaining $40 into a savings account. The bank provides a modest interest rate of 0.33% every month on the money he keeps there. This chart shows the result. By the end of 30 days, his $40 has generated an extra 13 cents. While 13 cents seems small, the money has transitioned from a static amount into a tool that generates its own value. When month 2 arrives, both brothers receive their next $50 payment. The first brother buys a giant gummy worm and immediately returns to a balance of 0. The second brother adds another $40 to his account, joining the original $40 and the interest he just earned. This shows how the math changes. This time, the interest is calculated based on $80.13. Because the total in the bank is higher, the passive yield grows to 26 cents. This is the mechanic of compounding. You earn interest on your initial savings, and then you earn interest on the interest that followed. This chart tracks the next 120 months, comparing the person who spends it all against the person who saves. The red line represents the spender, whose financial progress stays flat at 0 for the entire decade. The saver's line starts slow, but begins climbing higher as each month's interest is added to a larger and larger pile. By the end of 10 years, the repeated growth has pushed the account balance to $6,000. Now, 10 years later, we can see the tangible results of these two different paths. 10 years of fast food left one brother with health problems, no savings, and an empty bank account. The other brother has a significant $6,000 safety net, built from the $40 he set aside every month. Spending habits and interest rates work similarly, turning small, repeated actions into the reality you live in 10 years later. We often think building wealth requires a high salary or a massive inheritance to get started. The process is actually about capturing a portion of what you already have and giving it enough time to grow on its own. Building a future is a predictable outcome for those who use time to turn small amounts into thousands.